Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. So Nintendo made a big acquisition, but it's probably not what you think. And could the latest footage from the sequel to Breath of the Wild hint at a Switch successor? We've got those and other topics to cover today, but before we get started, if you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't yet, consider subscribing. That's the best way to let me know you enjoy the content on this channel. Now let's get started. First, it looks like Nintendo has made another acquisition, but this time it's land. Nintendo acquires land for new development building in Japan. Now this is not supposed to be complete until 2027, and in the article here from Nintendo Life it says, Nintendo has announced it's acquired new land. According to an official PR, it has bought this land next to the Kyoto headquarters for around 5 billion yen, which is around $40 million US. This new area will be home to the headquarters' second development building, tentative name. The purpose of the facility is to apparently strengthen its research and development, and the project is scheduled to be completed by 2027. So with this extra space, Nintendo will be able to shift around some of their internal studios, as well as ones that are already housed in their facilities. Hopefully this also means Nintendo is looking at expanding some of their development. With the extra space, they'll be able to house more people. Next, the tech experts over at Digital Foundry took a look at some of the recent snippets of footage from the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild sequel, and in their latest podcast indicated that it could very well have been running on a Switch successor. Tech experts think Breath of the Wild 2 looks too good to run on a Nintendo Switch. Now it may be a bit too much to make the assumption of that just from the little bit of footage we have so far. We also have no guarantee that the footage we saw was actually rendered on a Switch, and in addition to that, the Switch is in its 5th year, so the developers can do a lot more with it than they used to be able to do. But a summary here from Games Radar says the camera cuts in the latest trailer having perfect anti-aliasing points to the new game running on a revised Switch console. This is something the Xbox Series X struggles with at times, so it's hard to imagine the 2017 console from Nintendo absolutely nailing the technique. Volumetric clouds also not breaking down when approached by Link in the sky is also another indication of the sequel running on more powerful hardware, the host adds. So take this information however you would like. I am not exactly convinced yet that we're going to see a dual release on a Switch and say Switch 2. And finally, last week we covered how it looked like the House of the Dead remake was going to be coming out on the PlayStation, and this was due to a leaked image off of the PlayStation's website. Well, it looks like we have an actual confirmation that it's coming to the Xbox as well. This coming from Pure Xbox. If you've been holding off on the new Switch release of the House of the Dead remake because you were hoping to see it on Xbox, we might have some good news for you. As expected all along, it looks like the game will indeed get an Xbox release, and it might even be happening as soon as April 27th. So if you remember the original trailer for the House of the Dead remake for the Switch, at the very end it just said premiering on the Switch. There was no mention of an exclusive or even how long it would be before we saw it on other systems. But to go along with this article, I did go on my Xbox, and yes indeed, I could find the House of the Dead remake in the store. And right now it has a pre-order date of April 27th, so I don't know if that means it's actually going to come out that day, most likely not. I think it was about 6 months from when Panzer Dragoon Remake came out on the Switch until we saw it on the Xbox. So I could imagine something similar in that time frame. But what I also thought was interesting in the features for the game, it does include gyro aiming. Now if you're not aware, the official Xbox controller doesn't have gyro built into it. There are some third-party controllers that have that, and you can hook a mouse up and use that as well. so I do have to wonder if a mouse will work on this game when it comes out. And that's all we have for today's video. Let me know if anything caught your attention. Do you think Nintendo is looking to expand their operations with this new building? And do you believe that the sequel to Breath of the Wild will be on the Switch and whatever comes after that? Let me know about that or any of the other topics we covered today. I want to thank you for watching and be good.